Hi folks, welcome to another edition of the Songwriters Drop In. My name's John Gallagher. Today I'd like to talk about secondary dominant chords and how they function as really great melodic devices within songs and how they make songs really interesting. In order to know what a secondary dominant is, we have to define what a dominant chord is. A dominant chord is usually a fifth away from the tonic chord. So if we take the key of A major, for instance, if we count up a fifth, A, B, C sharp, D, E, try and get the guitar in. E is the fifth of that scale degree in the key of A. So we've got A, B minor, C sharp minor, D major, E major. That's the fifth. So that would be classed. The fifth is the dominant chord. It's got a dominant sound to it in many ways. Now, the subdominant is a fifth away on that from that chord. So if we take E major, I should say, E major. So we take so it's E major scale, E major, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A major, B major is the fifth. So that would be, B major would be the subdominant, because it's a fifth away from the 5 chord in the key of A. So you go a fifth up. So if that doesn't make too much sense, I'll show you an example of this. I thought today I would use a David Bowie song. This is Modern Love. And this is quite an interesting song because it's got some nice subdominants in it and subdominants. So the song starts off in A major. Well, I catch the paper boy, but things don't really change. So it goes there to the 5 chord. So that's your dominant chord. So it goes from the 1 to the 5, which is dominant. Now, it then goes to the 6th chord, which is F sharp minor. So that's that's the sixth chord degree, 6th chord in the scale of A major. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's also your relative minor for anybody that doesn't know that. Each chord, each key signature has a relative minor, but I won't go down too much of a rabbit hole with theory, but we'll use a little bit for this because it is important. So I'll go from the beginning again. 1 chord, A. I catch the paper boy, but things don't really change. To the 5 chord, which is the dominant. I'm standing in the rain. To the 6th chord. Now, the subdominant occurs on the next chord, which is actually C sharp minor. Now, the reason it's C sharp minor, if we take F sharp and we count up a fifth from F sharp, happens to be a minor, so we go minor scale, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, minor, C sharp minor. So that is your subdominant. So that's a really good way of explaining. I hope that's a good way of I hope that's a good way of explaining it. So within your own songs, if ever you get stuck on a chord and you think, I don't really know where to move to next, what you can do is go to either the fifth of that chord, the fifth of that key signature, whichever you might be in, and see what the dominant chord is. So the 5, go to the 5 chord, and then go, when you reach that chord, go to the 5th up in that key signature, and you'll come across your subdominant, and you should find a chord that maybe works. And you can mess around with them as well. Sometimes they can be major or they can be minor. It just depends on where you want it to go and how you want it to sound. But we'll cover that in another video because that's another subject. So also, subdominants can resolve to any chord within that key signature. So if I now go to the chorus of this song, it goes to A again, the 1 chord. Modern love walks beside me. Goes to a B7. Modern love walks on by. Now, that's actually a subdominant. And I mean, you can hear that it's kind of wanting to resolve to somewhere else. It sounds unresolved because it's subdominant. It isn't as strong as a dominant. A dominant is titled that way, is named that way because of the way it sounds, which is quite apt for it, really. So you've got 1 chord, modern love walks beside me, modern love walks on by. Now that's a subdominant. If you go to the verse and then you go to that 5 chord, the 5 chord up from E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a B. So you know that from the key of E major, the subdominant is actually a B major. What I want to add to this is that if you use the 5th above and you make it into a 7th chord, if that's not too confusing, so instead of using a B major chord as your subdominant, if you use a B 7th chord, which is what he's used there, modern love walks beside me, modern love walks on by. Then it goes to the C sharp. Modern love gets me to the church on time. So it goes to 1, to subdominant, which is the 5 of E major, and then back to the C sharp. So you can hear how that works in the context of the song. So I'll show a minor example of this next time because it's an interesting subject. So have a go with that. If you get kind of stuck on something, using a little bit of music theory, and if you don't know any theory, it's worth just learning a little bit just to sort of help you through, because then you can sort of get unstuck and get yourself out of jams where you kind of get, you dry up and you can't find a chord for you know, for the next section, or for within a section. So I hope you got something from that. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will get back to you. And if there's anything you need to know about that, then let me know. Okay, and like and subscribe if you've liked this, and I shall see you again next time. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day. Cheers.